sharks were thought to be the dolphins' only enemy. But dolphins can sometimes give as good as they get, ganging up to drive them away. Dolphins often have scars and damaged or even missing fins and flippers as testimony to past shark encounters. In Scotland recently, there have been deaths of cetaceans that have nothing to do with sharks. Every year, about 15 harbor porpoises with horrible injuries are found washed up on the shores of the Moray Firth. Since none of them show any evidence of being eaten, sharks don't appear to be the culprits. Many porpoise bodies are turned over to the Scottish Agriculture Centre and investigated by veterinary pathologist Tony Patterson.
This particular porpoise was found in the Moray Firth, and over the last few years we found that almost 60% of the porpoises from that area have been killed by bottlenose dolphins. And I have an upper jaw. This is from a bottlenose dolphin from the Moray Firth population. And if I can show that this exactly fits these teeth spacings on the porpoise.
Absolute proof came when an amateur cameraman filmed bottlenose dolphins tossing porpoises around like ragdolls. Until then, the only members of the dolphin family seen doing this kind of thing were orcas.
What we've discovered more recently is since 1992, we have had 5 young bottlenose dolphins in their first year of life with injuries identical to those we see in the porpoises, including rake marks. We don't know the behavioral reasons for the attacks on the young bottlenose dolphins by the adults. We don't know at the moment whether it's males or females that are carrying out the attacks. My personal feeling is that it's probably more likely to be males. And if that's the case, a possible explanation is that it may be analogous to where a male lion comes into pride. It will kill the offspring to bring those females back into estrus so it can mate with them. And that's a plausible explanation, I feel, what might be happening in the bottlenose dolphins.
But the number of dolphins killed by sharks or other dolphins is nothing compared to the number killed by humans. These are tuna in the Pacific chasing smaller fish. A tuna boat with its enormous purse-seine net. And dolphins that were chasing the same fish the tuna were chasing are now caught in the same net. Every year, thousands of dolphins die this way, just as they die in other kinds of nets, or are killed because they damage fishing gear or simply scare away fish. These are lucky ones, though. They've been caught in one of the many new nets with dolphin escape hatches, required by law in several countries. And dolphins sometimes seem to kill themselves. Like many other animals, a lot of dolphins and whales migrate. Their guide is the Earth's magnetic field, and it's thought they follow magnetic contours that cover the Earth. But even though dolphins are highly intelligent and social and have a built-in navigation sense, they still often swim up onto beaches and die there. These strandings are one of the great unsolved mysteries of the animal world. Every year, thousands of dolphins, both alive and dead, are found stranded. It's nothing new. The phenomenon's been documented for thousands of years. It's distressing, though, to people who come to help, especially when many of the animals seem to be perfectly healthy. Only certain species tend to strand themselves, usually the most tightly knit social ones, such as pilot whales and false killer whales. One theory is that the social bonds between the members of a group can be so strong that if one individual strands itself, the others follow. Other theories suggest that the strandings may be deliberate mass suicides or anomalies with the magnetic contour lines. Often, people can work to return dolphins to the sea, only to watch them turn around and head straight back to the beach. One way of understanding why dolphins do this might be to understand more about their societies. Scientists all over the world are studying dolphins and the relationships within the pods. They use various techniques to identify different individuals and to work out the parts they play in their groups.
We're studying their social organization and population structure, and the way we do that is to collect skin samples for DNA analysis.
DNA sampling techniques involve using a harmless nylon pad to scrape a tiny amount of loose skin from a dolphin's back. This Earthwatch team is taking samples from a group of dusky dolphins in New Zealand.
It's a very healthy population. There's a lot of genetic diversity there. So that's a good sign that these dolphins are doing quite well. As far as photo ID goes, we take pictures of their dorsal fins. The skin on the dorsal fin on the trailing edge is quite thin and sort of tears and tatters readily. It occurs naturally and leaves these natural marks that we can use for identifying individuals, and we can track them over time with these photographs.
A dolphin's dorsal fin is as individual as a person's face. And the process of logging them is as painstaking as keeping records of human fingerprints. The photos have to be cataloged and converted into stacks of hand-drawn outlines, but they enable the scientists to follow individuals and record migration routes and family pod sizes. Intelligence helps make dolphins highly social animals, but as in any society, there tend to be individuals that are different, loners that seem to want to be sociable with species other than their own. Over the years, many of these solitary dolphins have turned toward humans and become known as friendly dolphins. New Zealand has had more than its fair share of friendlies, including a celebrity called Oppo, who swam with bathers in 1955. Oppo attracted visitors by the thousands. She let children ride on her back, but often smacked the shins of adults who came too close. She was suspiciously killed just one day before she was to have been given official protection by the local council. Europe has had a good population of friendlies too, especially off the coasts of Cornwall and Ireland. Fungi, a lone male bottlenose dolphin, resides in a bay near Dingle on the Irish west coast, where people flock from all over the world year after year to see and swim with him. For more than 100 years, wild dolphins have been displayed for human enjoyment. Dolphinaria had a real surge of popularity after the TV soap opera Flipper sparked public fascination. More and more people wanted to try to get closer to these friendly and intelligent animals. Dolphins are good crowd pullers, and every year dolphinaria are visited by more than 20 million people in the U.S. alone. They act as ambassadors for their cousins in the wild by increasing awareness of the threats posed to them. Dolphinaria have also provided the chance for long-term, close-up studies of dolphins. Many visitors join conservation groups and become lifelong friends of these charismatic, fun-loving animals. It's difficult to put into words and impossible to prove, but there's an elation that many have after a close encounter with one of these enigmatic creatures. Dolphins seem to possess an uncommon ability to provoke humans towards a deeper sense of connection with nature. They seem to seek us out and want to interact with us. It's this interest of them in us that's been used by therapists around the world to help with the rehabilitation of disabled people, mainly children.
That's it, give the dog a pull.
Because of the power of this unique interaction, dolphins have been used as a treatment for disorders that conventional medicine can't cure. This has led to many people believing that dolphins have magical healing abilities. There's no evidence of any sonic or special healing power from the dolphins. Indeed, dogs and cats have been known to have similar effects. But never mind. Whatever the reason, swimming with dolphins does seem to work. There's also a less institutional way of connecting with dolphins. Every year, more than 5 million people all around the world go on organized whale and dolphin watching trips. The lives of humans and the lives of dolphins are about as different as it's possible to be and still be on the same planet. But getting even an inkling of a dolphin's life is an experience that stays with people forever. There's little doubt that dolphins score highly in the popularity polls, even though they have few of the features that normally make animals popular with us: soft fur and large eyes and ears. Maybe we see dolphins as we'd like to see ourselves. We know we're causing them harm. So much harm, in fact, that the very existence of some species is under threat. But if we can't live in harmony with such intelligent animals, animals that seem actively to like us, what hope is there for other creatures on the planet? Like us, dolphins are intelligent, live in complex societies, and share their work. They are wild animals, and do wild animal things, such as fight each other for dominance and kill to eat. But then, so do we. Whatever their faults, there's no doubt there's something very special about dolphins. It's a feeling that anyone who's had a close encounter with these beautiful creatures won't be able to explain. But the experience will stay with them for the rest of their lives.